Can we say?
Let's get
Let's do spoilers.
Let's
just
just
hop into
spoilers.
them spoilers.
All right,
People
so
have been spoiling anyway.
If you haven't seen Bad Batch episodes 15 and 16, The Summit and Plan 99, we are going to spoil them in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Everybody but one person dies.
Wait, you mean?
Wait, scratch
So,
it, reverse it.
Wait, which is it?
No,
Yeah, everybody in the
it's
comments.
opposite.
We saw Tech coming, right? I
We
feel bad
did, yeah.
because I related with
Yeah.
Tech as the techie person here.
You
that
are
breaks
Tech.
I break everything, and I felt bad for him because they started developing a relationship with him and another character that we don't particularly like.
That exchange though was hilarious.
That was
It was
hilarious.
so
That was
funny.
great.
She's
That
like
was
all,
the bomb.
oh, you're gonna leave without saying goodbye? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Went back to his
I don't like
data
you that
slate.
much.
It was
Did
like,
you need a briefing?
Yeah, that was hilarious. I was like, wow.
Oh,
It's kind
me,
of
when
a-
I, me when I flirt with women.
It's kind of like
man.
when
Oh,
you
gosh.
when it's a trope, but when they make the robotic character have the most emotional moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and that's kind of the way they went.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of hard because it was hard on Omega when Echo left.
Yeah.
But this is another level because Tech had to do what he had to do,
yeah, do what he had to do.
and he was bringing him along the whole time. I think they get rid of him because he was the closest with Omega at one point, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And so it was
Also-
the most.
Yeah, I think they're gonna just pull like a Winter Soldier with Tech.
You don't
And
think
he's gonna
dead.
be no. They're just gonna turn him to
Yeah.
the way they
vampire
brought his goggles
lackey.
back, you don't think he's dead, but it makes his sacrifice
Yeah.
nothing.
Right, yeah.
So-
If he's not dead, then they did kind of nullify
Well,
his-
what
That's what I'm
is-
saying, though.
What
That's
is
what
Plan
they do.
99?
Yeah, I don't know.
So that's what I mean. I'm gonna fake a death here. Don't worry, I got a parachute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna have to find me later, but
and you have
move
to
along.
act like I'm actually dead for Omega.
Yeah,
Just to torture.
maybe.
Just a torture. That's understandable.
Wow.
They're like, man, this is gonna be the greatest joke ever.
They had it planned out, this entire mission. That was their only
So they actually had an
thing.
excellent plan, but it was just to mess with Omega.
the GPS was not
that-
the plan.
No.
On that thought, the show is brilliant.
Yeah, if they did that,
Slow
Finally,
clap.
somebody did it.
somebody destroyed Omega. Wow. Are we horrible
and
people?
we might be, but
Oh,
in
no,
case,
because it's just a cartoon. Like,
yeah.
can't be
Chill.
that bad.
No,
Just chill
it's interesting that he had to die, and then the crash scene afterward
Yeah.
led to the beginning of episode 16, which was pretty good, right? It was like war,
Pretty heavy.
kind of shock, you know,
Shell shock.
shell shock,
Yeah.
getting her out of there.
Yeah, I like that,
That was
creative.
Yeah,
sound
that was really
design.
cool. That was-
it
that
felt
was
like
awesome.
epic. The music, it was not really music; it was just sound. You
Yeah,
know?
that was
It
a
was
cool
the in and
creative.
out and the black and out. Yeah, that was. I think that was really
Through
cool.
the eyes of
Yeah.
Omega. Yeah, that was a cool creative decision there, and the way they filmed that or did that. Not really filmed it, but animated that
They
was
did.
pretty damn cool.
This was
In a
legit.
computer.
and Saw Gerrera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that was a cool. I was kind of out of left field.
It
You're kinda
was,
like,
yeah.
What? Okay, it makes sense in some ways, but it also
What are the
totally derailed
chances?
what I thought was going to happen. Because
What
I'm
are
like,
the chances of that too? Running into each
Right.
other
Yeah.
on some random planet at this particular place.
well, it's because Saw Gerrera, he's more of like a terrorist type. So
Yeah,
he's,
no, he
he's
is.
trying to take out the higher
he proved
in the
that
empire.
time
Yeah.
and time again.
Maybe
he
the
had good
informant.
intelligence.
Maybe the informant that Echo was talking about was Saw Gerrera.
Maybe.
Or one of Saw Gerrera's men.
Or one of those
somebody
people.
like that.
They're in cahoots. You know what I'm saying? They got
Could be.
information, intel from the same
Saw
person.
Gerrera and Scene Gerrera.
Saw
I saw Gerrera.
Maybe the intel was.
One. I just spoiled it.
Oh my gosh.
Can't,
One. I just spoiled it.
Oh my gosh.
can't believe you.
6, 7, 8 years ago that came
Yeah.
out.
Right.
Really?
That's your fault now.
How did it end, Dustin? I'm
What?
just kidding.
Rogue One.
I'm just kidding.
It was depressing ending.
Yeah, we were just kidding.
He
We
was
didn't-
just kidding.
Do you want me to
It
go
was
into
a-
this
No,
right now?
we don't because
No.
we'll be here for 2 hours.
No, but we do like the tie-in
It was a
with Saw
rhetorical
Gerrera
question.
and Stardust, and all of this time period is pretty interesting. That to me was a good plus. I like that in episode
Yeah.
15. Seeing Tarkin, seeing Krennic, seeing their whole compound there is always cool. The weight of what's his name wasn't backing down. Hemlock was not backing down from Tarkin. He's like, whatever,
Yeah,
man. I'm
or any
late.
of
I was
them.
doing stuff. Deal with it.
Right.
Tarkin's like, fine. I'll bring Vader in. He'll talk to you.
Right.
But
That was the interesting thing. Who fact checker, can you check to see who all was at that table? Because there was 2 other people at that table that I don't know.
I think Wolf
Oh,
Yularen
shoot.
was one of them.
You think
course.
Wolf? But I
Yeah.
thought Wolf was a little bit older.
I mean, he
would have
was
had
older.
white hair there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I feel like he would
guess.
have had white hair.
Well, no, because this is like right after, you know,
Yeah. So maybe, yeah,
Order
that could have been
66.
one of those.
So
could
he's
have been.
getting older. I don't think he has white hair yet.
That could have been Wolf, the one who was talking about the clones and
Yeah.
how he was almost sticking up for the clones.
Yeah, he's like, I fought with the clones.
But
and
the other guy, I don't know who the other guy was.
Yeah, no.
He seemed like, and then there was an empty chair,
Mhm.
which begs the question: who was that
Who's
for?
that for?
Palpatine.
Papa
Papa
Palps?
Palps.
Or
But he got
Vader?
intel, or Vader, yeah. Or
He
anybody.
had
Baby
intel
Vader.
that things were going down.
Or
Yeah.
Cyril and
Didn't show
Deidre.
up.
Cyril and Deidre.
Right.
ISB,
Yeah.
the leader of the ISB. I don't
Right.
know. Are they around yet?
Well, what's
Maybe.
his name's in the ISB technically? Krennic.
Apparently, we were buffering
So was
for a
Wolf
minute,
Yularen.
so we're back.
Okay, sorry about that.
Apologies.
But yeah, that was interesting. The funny thing, though, let's get into that, was there are weapons in this.
yeah.
Russian
Right.
roulette, Matt said.
It's like,
Yeah.
are we going?
Take your guess.
Are we going lethal or non-lethal?
Yeah, because it was
let's
like,
spin the dial.
yeah, because it like seemed to depend on who they were targeting, but not really.
Yeah.
Because like stormtroopers showed up in the very beginning when they first saw stormtroopers, and they were just like,
Blast
they're
those
done. They
Not
just
holding
shot
back
him and
and
knocked him over
sent
the
over
edge.
the rail.
Yeah.
It's like almost every other time they're just stunning people.
Yeah.
And then this time it was like, nope, straight
Well, and
murder.
then literally, like after they
Straight
shot those
murder.
ones at the over the edge, they went to the flight command place
Yeah, they
and
opened the
stunned
door.
them.
And
then
And
they
I was
stunned
like,
them.
Instantly shot.
What
when
are the
they
rules
opened
here?
the door, so like,
Yeah.
they got fast reaction.
It was a
or
little
something.
inconsistent.
it was. It was like, yeah, we're killing, but not really that much,
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, it was interesting. That was
Yeah.
just kind of funny to us. And then we run into Saw later, and I'm like, did they kill Saw's men?
Right?
You know, they
No,
were-
no, no, no! Wait!
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because they were,
Yeah.
you know, in the stormtrooper outfits.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Secret Song said, "Saw save tech."
I don't see it.
I don't see it.
All right.
I
Did
think
you,
they were
you didn't
long
see
gone
Saw
by
if he's
save tech.
alive, the Empire has him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think they got him in Mount Tantus. I
yeah.
think they took him back to
Ouch.
Mount Tantus, and they're going to experiment.
We
on
thought that might have been him at first when we went back into Tantus with Omega
Yeah.
at the very
We
end.
saw-
Nick
I was like, the hairline's not right though.
that. Yeah. The thing is, if you don't see a body in Star Wars, then they're probably
Right.
not dead.
Exactly.
There's always nobody's ever really gone.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Tech's
line.
out
with
there
the
somewhere.
goggles being
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
Especially since they showed the goggles.
Right.
That means they found him.
Right. 100%. So
Or did they
And he
find a
was-
body, or did they find? Yeah.
Well, if they found the goggles, they found the body.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, they've brought Tech back from Tech. No, I'm sorry, Echo back from Crazier Things.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Echo
So-
was practically a husk.
Poor Tech. He's going to become Techo.
Techo.
Tico.
He'd make a better Echo in
Tiki
some ways.
Baker.
Yeah, Sayosin said they only don't kill clones.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that
Which-
makes sense. But there was other episodes.
They
where
stunned the science officer.
yeah,
who,
that's
you
what
know
we've
the
noticed that pattern.
they shot
Yeah.
the new stormtroopers and threw him over the edge.
just like that.
Right.
Just like
But
that.
And,
what were? Why
the-
did they stun the ones inside the? Were those clone troopers? Like
no, those were
those?
No,
were,
those are stormtroopers.
those were
That's what I don't get.
stormtroopers.
Well, and Omega doesn't have any
Stormtrooper.
kind of stun ability, does she? With her thing, she just shoots to kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she does have a stun.
yeah,
With that
she's-
bow.
but she misses all the time. So.
Yeah. She's a terrible shot.
Yeah.
I don't know. She had a few people, but you're right, not enough.
she had a
And
few
this-
people.
This episode went totally opposite of what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah,
We didn't
Yeah.
see any crosshair. That was disappointing
Yeah.
for me. Actually, I was.
we only
I
saw him
was-
unconscious.
I thought for sure Crosshair. I know he was in 14 a lot, but he tried to get out. You know,
Mhm.
it was like, and then their whole point was to go get him.
Yeah.
And it ended before they could even. They were like, "We're gonna just retire on Pabu, and we're just
Yeah.
gonna do this." And
It was just out of
like,
left
stop
field.
saying
Yeah,
that.
that's why it was
Stop
like-
saying that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're going to honor his sacrifice by doing nothing to avenge his death.
Exactly. It's like,
In
yeah.
some ways, you're
Let's
like,
we're
just go
done.
settle down at this
wait a
place.
second.
I thought it was going to be them joining the rebellion.
Yeah, I thought
I
it was
thought
going to be
that's the
like,
route
all
they
right,
were
we're
gonna
going to do
take.
something to take down this empire
Like-
that killed our boy Tech.
He gave
Yeah.
a decent speech and then went
And then went
a complete route.
Yeah.
Different route. What?
Yep.
What? I thought for sure she was going to get captured. And then that was going to be the summit. You know, they get captured. And then the rest of the Bad Batch was going to have to show up in Mount Tantus and rescue her and
Yeah.
Crosshair.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That would have been so much more satisfying
Yep.
Right.
to an ending. You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess they're setting up more with Mount Tantus, and they're trying to set up a lot more with that.
Yep.
But it was just
A
like,
whole season's
what
worth.
is happening here?
I mean, it's like they just didn't have enough writing,
Yep.
freedom or whatever,
I don't know.
I don't know what
fortitude.
they're doing.
But,
And then
yeah.
what happens too is Hunter again
Calm down,
tells-
Angela. Oh,
tells Omega to run, get out of here. They're coming for us.
she didn't listen.
And I was
Yeah,
like,
for
for once in your life, Omega, listen to
Listen.
them. And of course, she does not. It's
Yep.
the dumbest thing.
One
It's so
time.
predictable.
Just
It
do
was.
something you're told.
For
hate-
what?
Doing everything wrong.
Yeah.
She doesn't clearly.
Yeah. And then, of course, gets captured, after they
Yeah.
basically sacrifice them. They all sacrifice themselves for her. And then
Right.
she gets captured anyway because she doesn't listen. Oh, my goodness. And
Well, I
doesn't
have-
even really do a good job
'Cause
saving
she's
him.
like,
It's
they need-
Echo
Yeah, I know.
who saves them.
Because she was like, "Oh, I need to help him. Whatever, I need help." Like, what are you gonna do?
Right.
Yeah. It's just it seemed to be too common of a thread where they would be like, all right, Omega, we need you to stay at the ship and watch this thing and do this thing over here. And she ends up going. And the one time she found Gunji, which was cool,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that
you
was
know,
like
helped
the
get Gunji
only
out.
time.
That's
But, you
an
know, it's-
exception.
eventually she's got to follow orders, and she never really learned to follow the
Right.
orders of her dad, Hunter. Every time Hunter gave her an order, she pretty much never listened.
Right.
Yeah.
And because
the
she's
leader of the Bad
emotionally,
Batch.
she's emotionally driven. She was just, she just lost Tech. She's like, I'm not going to lose all them. But the best way to get them out of there actually would have been to not get yourself trapped.
Right.
Because if you can get out, look, Echo was around the corner anyway,
Yep.
wasn't he?
Yeah.
And
Go
so
get Rex.
you get away, they'll catch you before you can get out of town anyway.
Yeah.
Or something. They had a plan. Hunter had a plan. They're not. I mean, Wrecker was in those things, but then when time came, he just was like, Psh.
Yep.
Didn't
Yeah,
he,
that
didn't he
was
just
funny.
break him?
Yeah, he
like-
just broke them apart. Why didn't we do that sooner?
So then they-
Yeah, yeah. I was-
And
what?
AZ could have helped her, but I thought maybe AZ would step up and like, look, this is your moment. You need to listen, Omega.
Right.
But it
Slap
didn't.
her a little bit. Say, "Get your crap together."
Good soldiers follow orders, Hannah
Good
said.
soldiers
And
follow
it's,
orders.
Yeah.
it's just she's just there
She's not a
wasn't a
good
moment,
soldier.
and this is where she ends up. You know what I mean? She ends up at Mount Tantus, but even then, she's like bossing the people around at Mount Tantus.
She's walking
Yeah.
around
Yeah,
the
she just
facility.
does her
without-
own thing.
the
They're like,
clone
you can take her back.
stormtroopers Don't care.
Bad Batch. We don't want to deal with her.
Yep.
We don't want another clone of her. However, what is that all about with her sister?
That's the ending.
Oh, I'm your sister.
Because we guessed that like 4 episodes ago when she showed up. We're like, it's like the same voice actor or actress.
Yeah, it
It
is.
did. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it though. to be
But
honest.
I didn't
but I
wanna
mean,
realize
I was
it.
like,
Yeah.
it's like they're the same person or something, and here we
Right.
are, and that's what it's all about. So obviously, there's something else going on with.
Yeah, that was the big bombshell
Reveal.
at the end.
And it wasn't
we
even
were
that
kinda like-
big.
It was.
We're like, yeah, go on.
Um,
And then it's like
That's the
direct
end.
created by Dave Filoni. And we're
Like,
like,
what?
you kidding, right? That's where you're gonna end it. Where do we go from here?
I think they're just really trying to build up like the whole Mount Tantus situation.
Mount Tantus.
Tantus.
Just unless they're going to give us
Meow.
the next season in like this summer, that's like a long time to wait for kind of what feels like a little bit of a
Yeah.
not as big a cliffhanger. Like I want to see the Bad Batch like ride off into the sunset with Crosshair. This would have been a great finale to get Crosshair back, and they could all ride off into the sunset. Or maybe then they switch Omega for Crosshair, and then they got to
Yeah.
think of how they're going to go back and get her or something.
right.
I just feel like leaving Crosshair dead on the bed or whatever he was there, strapped
on the
down
bed.
still.
Dead on the bed.
Dead on
Tech
the
is
bed.
completely
Kick the
gone. We got
bucket.
Echo back, but he's not really with them anymore. He's supposed to
No.
be with Rex. We didn't have Rex for the finale.
Echo.
We didn't have Hauser. We didn't have. Where's the other guy that was with Crosshair in the one episode that we're talking in the comments?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Cody.
Cody
Commander
disappeared.
Cody.
I thought
Commander
Commander Cody could have shown up,
Yeah,
tied
what
up
the
some
heck?
loose ends. We just kind of got this.
Nobody knows.
It's like there's like one more episode we're missing.
The writing is
There's something else that we're missing to finish the season, and I feel like it just stopped a little too soon, and that's why we're having a little bitter taste in our mouth. And we're
Yep.
like, trust season 3. I don't know if I even want to see season 3, which we do. We will watch it because this is a Star Wars channel,
We won't.
but Nick
Well,
won't
We will
watch it.
Force ourselves.
that
We
was
won't
the
want
only
to
thing. Like
watch it.
it ended on that, and I was like, "Well, there's definitely gonna be a season 3." And I was
Right.
like, "Dang it! That means
But
we're
you're,
gonna have to
like-
review it."
There's like there's no hype whatsoever.
no.
Like I'm not even excited. I'm like, oh, cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
it explains why, that one girl who was in Mount Tantus was
sister?
was helping, could have potentially helped
Yeah.
Crosshair there.
Yeah.
That explains that, but then it begs the question: why is that Hemlock dude trusting this chick then? If that's a clone,
Right.
like, does he not know that, or
He must
According
know
to some
that.
people, Omega was the only one of her kind, wasn't she?
yeah,
Yeah.
So
It's like, but they have the same voice.
Right.
right?
Somebody's got to
What's
figure this out.
happening, bro?
Or even Lama Su. Does Lama say Su, Lama whatever? No.
Lama say
Lama
Su.
Seisu.
Llama, Mama
Does
Llama.
she not
Lama
know
say.
that? Okay, that one. I'm thinking of like Llama the books or something.
Yeah.
right? Reading to kids
It's
and
a
whatnot.
llama show.
I like Phil's theory. He said, besides, oh no, he said it was really unnecessary. I want Crosshair to wake up. Then Omega tells him Tech's dead, and then,
And then
he probably
just
just
go
goes
berserk.
berserk,
Yeah.
Yeah.
starts
I
breaking
can
out,
see it.
you know, or something.
I can see it clearly.
Yeah,
Maybe
like
that's
that.
how this
Blood
next
on the
season starts.
walls.
But I liked what they did with Crosshair in this season. That for me
Yeah.
is the part we remember back, except for the fact that they never resolved any of it. He tried to break out and he wasn't able to do it on his own.
And
Fine.
that's where we ended.
As long as Omega by herself doesn't break him out.
Yeah.
I'd say literally the only redeeming quality of this whole season and/or show
I'll say it.
And/or.
is Crosshair. Literally, I mean, without
His whole
Crosshair
arc.
in this show altogether, this
show would've been
is a waste,
terrible.
and you could throw it straight into the garbage
Blech.
because the Bad Batch should have been epic. Like, they nerfed them so hard. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
the Bad Batch should have blown everybody out of the water in regards to how
They
good
sh-
they were. Like a covert op group. They were like the ones that they sent in to get things done that no other clones could get done.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it seems like all they've ever done now in the Bad Batch is done what nobody else, like the actual clones could have done better. Rex is 10 times better than all of the Bad Batch.
Right.
Like, they don't even use
Right.
their
In the
special gifts
show,
very
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
They don't figure things out. Omega's leading them half the time because she's a Mary Sue, and there's no character development other than she's a child and she needs to live like a child, but she doesn't want to.
But she doesn't learn.
And it's
doesn't
like,
get
okay, well,
taught.
where are we going with this? Can you make up your dang mind?
Well, because
So
we
that
wanted her to get maybe force abilities or something that
Give us
explained that.
something
We were rooting for Omega
to
A lot of-
die.
Yeah, I don't think I was
Because
ever
of what-
rooting for
because of-
Omega.
No, I'm saying, but we were rooting for something to make sense with her.
Yeah.
Right.
Leading
Well, yeah,
the Bad
yeah.
Batch and all this stuff, not just making her like all of a sudden she's a Mary Sue or something. But anyway, Silesin took off. So see you later. Thanks, Sil, for the great
Thanks,
comments.
dude.
And everybody
Jesus,
that's
we
listening.
appreciate it, man.
It feels like we're ripping
Oh,
apart
check.
the Bad Batch, which is why we saved this for the very end. Some people in the comments really did enjoy this season, by the way.
Well, we apologize.
And so and a lot of them have different opinions on what we have in the comments, which is
All right.
great.
That's fair.
I love it. I
You
love
can
it.
be
So-
wrong. It's okay.
Oh, man.
So
We
we're
ex-
just going to
we
give you our
accept you
thoughts.
for who you
and
are.
We have our own opinions because we're four dudes that wanted to see the Bad Batch just go in and wreck shop because that's what we loved about the Bad Batch in Clone Wars Season 7. And we expected that, and it feels like to this point we've been still waiting for that, and we've gotten hints at that. And that's where Crosshair was always even though he became the enemy, it just, we haven't seen the Bad Batch be the Bad Batch since
Right.
the Season 7 of the Clone Wars, it feels like. And maybe part of that reason is because Omega showed up, and she kind of upstaged the rest of them a
It
little
became
bit.
the Omega show.
It became the Omega
It's not
show. It
the
really
Bad
did. I mean,
Batch.
it's hard to deny that it's not the Omega show,
Yeah.
except for when she's not in it and it's just Crosshair, which
That's the only time.
And if
Yeah,
if done
Stark.
right, if Omega would have been done right, like Ahsoka,
if she,
Exactly.
yeah, she
that
was
could have been
taken
epic.
on.
I
If
would have
she-
been totally fine with Omega.
that's what I'm saying.
Learning, growing,
As long
getting
as she
better
can
and
learn.
better, and learning from the Bad Batch.
That's what you
Right.
do as a child.
right.
It's crazy.
You
They,
learn.
they should have. They should have had the Bad Batch be awesome, and then her learn from them, and then she continually gets better as
Right.
they go. Not make it the other way around where they suck and she is the bestest ever,
yeah.
and they have to basically learn from her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that's the sequel trilogy right there in a nutshell. Way
We're-
to go, guys!
we're
You
gonna have
repeated
to
your
do
same
a-
mistake.
a breakdown on this, but John Pope came in. I love this comment. John, hey, thanks for commenting. Omega's accent is terrible. Worst Australian accent I've ever heard. And then somebody said, correction, her accent isn't Australian. It's a Kiwi accent, New Zealand. He said, gotcha. Remind me never to go there.
Yeah.
Remind me never to go there.
No,
That's
it's
great.
just-
Wow. that
I'm
is
sorry,
dark.
John Pope.
Never go there.
We love New Zealand accents, actually.
Zealand.
When we
Zealand.
heard it, it made us happy at the
If
beginning.
John's
That's
on our
all.
live next week, we'll have to remind him again.
Right. Hey,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
don't go to New Zealand.
I personally, like, they keep shooting us in the foot with Omega, like, just doing things that she has no right doing and leading them, and them like not doing their role. If the Bad Batch was able to do their roles without Omega, and then this season it made it worse because we had Sid telling them what to do,
Right.
Oh,
and then we had Fee telling them what to do, and then we had. And if it wasn't them, it was all three telling them what to do.
Right.
And then if it wasn't that, they were just chilling on some island. We're just going to retire now, asking them,
Yeah, what's
aren't you
this,
guys done
bro?
with this? Aren't you guys done with this?
It's like, what's the point of this show anymore?
It was just so like we're just in limbo land, like, and they had like the stress of like a tidal wave coming over a wall.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this isn't the Bad Batch show. Like this is the side series called the Omega Show, where she has to run away from a giant wave while she's in a boat.
Right.
right.
You know, and she can do some cool things there, but we just got to know what the tone is. Is this a little kid show
Yeah.
with Omega as the star, or is this the Bad Batch who, with Crosshair, has to go through heck dealing with that planet on the outpost and
Yeah.
the darkness of that, you know, and
Right.
people dying in front, and now we got Tech dying right in front of her eyes, sacrificing his life for the Bad Batch. Probably
Right.
not.
Yeah.
So you got this.
Pick a lane.
You got these two
Pickling,
things that were
stain.
confusing us, so we never knew what was going to happen, but we were really enjoying
But
that.
the writers couldn't even figure it out.
No.
That's
was
the problem.
There's different writers for every episode, and that's part of the problem.
Yeah. It's
When-
scatterbrain.
When the big writers of the show came in, you could tell,
Because it was Crosshair.
and it also brought in Gunji, the Palpatine,
Right. Yeah.
Chuchi, you know,
Chuchi.
these other external characters.
Like you ended with Chuchi.
Chuchi, I don't know why I
Chuchi.
thought of that. I saw it in the chat.
Gunji. Emperor. Chuchi.
So, yeah, Clone Wars Season 7 is what I define as the saddest season with a speechless ending.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the chills that you get when you think of the best animated stuff that we
It's-
know Star Wars can deliver.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
That's
was
where Bad
amazing.
Batch
Oh.
was.
they were
the Bad
solid.
Batch.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were actually the Bad Batch there. This whole show was a bait and switch. They promised you the Bad Batch, and then they gave you a female Omega Mary Sue.
Yep.
And that's where it was the bait and switch. And that's why, you know, it's not. And that's why when we got Crosshair, it wasn't actually a bait and switch at that point.
Yeah.
We were actually following the Bad Batch, which he's only one part of the Bad Batch. So it's just that's why it's so disappointing. Like,
Yeah.
we know that it can be so much better, but the writing is just so all over the place and so off the wall that it's like, come on, guys, get your stuff
Right.
together. Like we're thinking and the comments are thinking of better stories than what they came out with. Like
Yep.
you don't subvert our expectations and make it worse. That's what The Last Jedi did. And that's how you get a split fan base, and that's how you get terrible Star Wars.
Yep.
And that they're falling into the same trap unless they can redeem it in season 3. Maybe they'll listen to everybody and they'll actually work on it and try and come up with a cohesive story that brings everything together where Omega can learn, the Bad Batch can actually be the Bad Batch, be epic, and do
Right.
good at what they can do. Have
had
some
those-
solid writing, connect all the dots, bring it together to a satisfying conclusion. Unless what's going to happen is the next season we're just going to build up one of the other Bad Batch to kill off.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what. it's
Speaking
gonna
of people to kill off, they never killed Sid off.
be. No, yeah.
Why'd they
whatever,
go
yeah,
back
betrayed
to her
that
to begin
betrayal.
with?
I think it's universal in the comments and with us that Sid is the worst character to
Yeah.
ever.
Well, and
ever
They
we
were
totally-
saying that.
yeah.
We totally called it too. We were like, dude, she's working for the Empire. She's not. Okay, she
Well,
wasn't
not-
necessarily working, but she sold them out to the Empire.
Yeah, which we
Which
saw
isn't
coming a mile
surprising.
away.
Yeah.
She'd sell off her firstborn to the Empire if it made her $10. You know.
Right.
That part
Yeah.
in the bar when Hunter's got his gun on Hemlock, I'm like, just shoot Sid.
Yes.
Just get rid of her.
Don't even shoot
Like,
Hemlock.
The,
Just shoot
the
Sid.
Empire won't even care. That you
Right? They'd
take
be like,
the one
oh,
around.
okay, we'll take our credits back.
yeah. Right. They would have.
Thank
cool.
you.
I'm surprised they didn't. But
That's
she
like the
was-
first thing they need to do in the third season is hunt Sid down
No,
and take her out.
They're not gonna though. 'cause
It's weird.
she's a-
The
But if
show.
they did, it'd be great.
Speaking of tone, they
First
kept like
episode.
propping up Sid like she
Yeah.
was somebody that we need to like. Ah, ha, 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 she's mean to them. Ah, ha, ha. Like, why are we following Sid?
Yeah.
Why are they doing anything to help her. And then even when they went like away from her, they were still like, well, we're not really on speaking terms. Like
Yeah.
they never got upset about how she was treating them. Wow.
Yeah, but also, like, why did they even go to Sid's?
Yeah, that,
You know,
That didn't make any
like,
sense.
go back to Pabu. Why are you at Sid's place?
That was the dumbest decision ever.
You idiots.
Yeah.
You're just asking for trouble.
Yeah,
Plot
because literally,
convenience.
like for like 3 episodes, it was like we're cutting ties with Sid, and she just threatened us to like sell us out to the Empire. Oh, I know. Let's go to Sid. It's like,
that's the
Are you
best choice
idiots?
We gotta lie
possible.
low, but we're also very wanted,
It's not like there's not a
Sid
million other
is
planets
terrible.
in the galaxy.
yeah,
right?
that was so dumb.
John Pope, dude, I hope Sid gets ejected out of an airlock. I can't stand it.
Right?
Yeah, seriously.
John's on our page.
Obliterated.
A lot of people love Ryo Chuchi though. So as soon as you mention Ryo, they go bananas in the comment section.
Chuchi's. I'm not saying it just was funny the sounding of it. I
Oh
like
yeah,
Chuchi.
yeah.
I
No,
just
but
thought it was
we
funny.
liked Ryo Chuchi. We
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we like
we
she
like-
tried to
show
help the
more of her.
clones.
She's cool.
There was a lot of clones and a lot of trouble in this season. And, you know, it's an interesting development watching the clones not turn into, but get outdated by the stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the overarching
that was
arc.
that's an interesting arc. I will give you that.
And it's a time period that we hadn't really
Yeah.
seen as Palpatine officially instates the, stormtrooper program. And,
Yeah.
so like I said, there's things in the story, the greater story, when you zoom out, like without seeing, you zoom out so far that you don't have to see Omega and Sid or whoever else.
Right.
And think of the overall story. It moved the story forward in the Star Wars universe and kind of filled in some things that we hadn't seen before, which was really cool.
Mhm.
And so it's just that unfortunately, when we showed up week to week to watch it, you never knew what you were gonna get. And
Yeah.
so we were excited when Mando showed up because then we talk about Mando.
I feel like a lot of Star Wars lately has been like first draft stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they've just been coming up with first draft, and they've just been publishing it.
Yep.
When
They're like,
they-
oh, this is great.
when they really need
push
to
this out.
they really need to go back to the drawing board and criticize their own work
Yeah.
to refine it. Let's
I
make
think-
it better. Let's make it tie together so much better. Like
Honestly,
because there's so many missing details. There's so many things that loose ends they have. So many things that just don't make common sense. Like you got to think about like, well then why that? The original Star Wars
Yeah.
definitely it had some plot holes, but
They
that
weren't
was-
glaring.
it wasn't glaring, and it was still something that the more you thought about the original trilogy, like the more fun it got, and you could kind of expand that galaxy in your mind and use your imagination.
Yeah.
Whereas when you start thinking about the Disney era of Star Wars, the more you think about it, starts to take away from the story and from where they're trying to go with it because there's just so many glaring plot holes and just things that don't make sense. Now, Star Wars in general doesn't always make 100% sense, but
Yeah.
you have to at least make not glaring.
Yeah.
You have to make it at least make some sense and have a direction and go that
Right.
direction. Don't go 8 different directions. That's why you need somebody to refine it and be like, okay, I like where you're going, but what's the point of this show? What are we leading to? What's the beginning, middle, and end of a good story? We have to have a good story. Otherwise, it's going to fall flat on its face.
Yeah.
the John Pope. They gave Star Wars the old L. Ron Hubbard treatment. Dude never wrote a second draft in his life.
Nope.
What? Wait, who's that? Who's L. Ron Hubbard?
A writer.
Yeah. What is he
It's a reference that
What?
I know, but I don't know,
I know-
at the top of my
yeah.
head.
Fact checker.
I just had
Hit
it.
us up.
Some people are shipping Ryo and Fox.
Ooh,
Fox.
Who's Fox?
See Ryo and Hauser too.
Ryo and Hauser. Ryo and Thyre. Golly, I'm bad with these
Theme?
names. Foxio, Stan all the way.
Oh, Scientology.
Scientology.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what it. Yeah.
He
Okay.
wrote.
It was on the tip of my. I thought
the
about
tip
it and
of
then
my
lost
tip.
it.
Yeah, thanks,
Martin.
Pope. Yeah, but no, I mean it's
What is
I don't know that reference.
Created Scientology.
Oh, okay. He never created a second draft.
I guess not. I think part of this is the fallout for pre-Star Wars,
I don't know what
pre-2020,
anything means.
and the quality of everything post-2020. I'm not going to say the word, but post-2020 events,
Yeah.
all the stuff that's come out has been
It's just
been rough.
garbage.
It's changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
The
Steve
entertainment
showed you
industry's
before.
changed. Everything quality. You go get a package of whatever from the store, and it's like all busted up when you open it up. Hasn't the quality dropped a little bit since 2020? All around on every in every vein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
pretty
you think
Absolutely.
about all the Star Wars well, not all of it, minus the movies, but the animated series, all that stuff, because that takes a lot of work. You got to be together in the room. You got to put stuff together, and everybody got separated out for several years. And I think we're falling out of that. Hopefully, we'll look back at this time and be like, that was horrible entertainment. Movies, they weren't the quality they should have been.
Mm-hmm.
The TV shows weren't as good as they should have been for a reason, right? And now
Yeah.
we can finally get back to, let's do some real good stuff. Let's collab. Let's make some good movies. Let's make some good TV shows.
These are the dark times.
These are the dark times.
For the Empire.
But Mando brings us back up, and they're doing the best they can. That's Favreau's genius, putting it in that stage, that sound stage, and really being creative with the story. And I'm so glad Filoni's there steering that ship. And he created the Bad Batch. I wish he had more of a hand in the writing.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
Any other
Very
Let's get to some
wise.
comments, and then we're going to rate it and get out of here, unless there's not many comments to get to.
Well, speaking of the Empire, you asked me to look up who else was around
Oh,
the
yeah.
table.
Hit me up.
Okay, so Hurst
No.
Ramoti. He
What was that?
in Hurst Ramoti
Hurst Ramoti.
was
know
in
that
Rogue
name.
One, played by Andy Delatour.
Delator.
I'm
I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it.
Delator.
I don't
There
know, it
was-
sounds fun.
Also, Barton Coburn, who was the admiral commanding from Clone Wars, admiral commanding the task force which rescued Tarkin from his imprisonment from the
Tarkin.
Citadel.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Oh, cool.
Right.
And
Not
then
bad.
Orson Krennic, you already knew that one.
Krennic.
Did they say who the fifth chair was supposed to be? Probably
No.
not. That makes sense.
Yeah, they just had
That's
an extra
interesting.
chair.
I like how they call back that stuff. That is fun. I do
Yeah.
enjoy those callbacks and kind of connecting the world there, especially with Tarkin. Anytime Tarkin shows up, it does elevate things to
Yeah.
another level.
Right.
What we got another comment here?
Kind of, they don't like Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
Is what
They
I'm
don't
saying.
like Kathleen
Because
Kennedy?
nobody does.
No, 100%. She's
She's ruined it.
I see. I
Phil,
think
Phil said John and Dave know what we want.
Yep.
Yeah.
John and Dave definitely have their pulse on the theme of Star Wars.
All right.
And the feel of Star Wars. I
Yeah.
think they just need to tighten up a little bit on the story
Yeah.
and connecting things
Tighten
a
up.
little bit. But as far as creative goes, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are the best bet for Star Wars right now. They should be the head of Star Wars and Lucasfilm. I think she might be an all right business person, but if you look at like, oh my goodness, if you
Her
just
track
look at her track
record?
record
Yeah.
in charge of Lucasfilm,
She's
how many?
sabotaging.
It's a big shoe to fill.
yeah.
I get that.
George Lucas has one shoe, but
Why does he have one shoe?
no.
Where does his other foot go?
This is the Yoda's no legs
Yeah.
thing.
This is the next rabbit
He's
hole.
only
we're
got
gonna
one
go
shoe.
down. We're gonna be
I
here
just
till
mean
He's like, crap.
12 midnight.
no. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
that nobody
just
can
saying.
nobody can replace George Lucas is what I'm
Right.
saying.
He
Not
needs to
one
get it
human
back.
can replace George Lucas.
Well, it's because you have to have a creative
full
in
t-
charge.
and they
Not
created-
one person
right.
could replace you, Dan.
Oh, that's
That's
nice.
a good point.
We could
That's the
replace you,
nicest
Matt.
thing.
Spin it
I
around.
was- no, that's okay.
No, you said not one person can replace you, Dan.
No, I heard that, but I didn't
loves you.
process.
He loves you
I said no.
You're
like
like a
tech.
brother.
When I responded like tech. No. What did he say?
You were just gonna leave without saying goodbye? Yep.
yeah, that's it. Yep. That's what I should
I
have
just
said.
like how he said something nice, and Dan's like,
He's like, I don't
"You
know how to take this.
idiot!"
Right? How dare you insult me?
It's one of those moments again.
It's 100% not
Uh,
true, but thank you, Matt. Thank you. It
Love it,
doesn't
man.
make any sense. Anyway, let's move
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
was going somewhere, and then
Yeah. We
Matt
should probably
screwed
end
it
it.
Favreau and Filoni, Pope said, needs to run it. Kennedy's gone after Indy 5. Star Wars Celebration's her last hurrah.
yeah, I did hear that.
And
theory.
so if that era is over, this is the era that we're getting over now, then we in season 3 could maybe see something good in the Bad Batch. Maybe they rewrite, they go back to the drawing board, they give her some story. Maybe the sister thing plays in and there's a reason why she is the way she is. She can stay with her sister forever. We can let the Bad Batch do their thing, right? Or maybe they create a separate show called The Clones. It's not the
or
clone
Omega.
or Omega's clones.
Yeah.
or-
The sister clone.
It's just it's
The
just
sister clones.
you know the
Goodness.
we've
Sisters
gone
of the
around it
Clones.
and it's been a rough go, but we like Mando, and Bad Batch season 2 being done is kind of a relief.
Yeah, it kind of is. You know, there was
Mhm.
the crosshairs and stuff like that, and moving the plot forward with the 2 episodes in the middle was pretty cool. But other than that, we were kind of like, we take it or leave it. pretty much leave it. So let's rate this and get the heck out of here.
Yeah.
So we usually rate this out of 5 for the
We
Bad
gotta do it out of
Batch.
4 now.
Yeah, out of 4. Oh, got him.
Wow. Dropping
Too
like
soon.
flies. Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah. Also, we usually do the good, the bad, and the ugly. I would say this was ugly for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
This was
ugly.
just ugly. I'm sorry. I did not enjoy this. There was parts I enjoyed a little bit with like the action, but that was
Yeah.
and the sound design
Yeah.
and seeing some other characters. But even that did not redeem it enough for me to
No.
make this like what a great ending.
Right.
Season 2.
Especially especially since it was supposed to be a finale. It kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a solid 3 out of 5 on
For the
this.
2 episodes
Yeah.
combined.
For
For the
both,
2
yeah.
episodes combined. Yep.
yeah. I was gonna say make sure everyone knows we're doing it out of 5.
Yeah, out of 5.
Yeah.
So
Out of
let us know in
5,
the
yeah,
comments. Out of
yeah.
5. I know I see
Out
some
of
people
5.
doing 10, but
Yeah, it's fine.
we're doing it out of 5 for the Bad Batch because usually it was 5, now 4.
Yeah.
What do you say, Nick?
I say a 2.5.
2.5.
Whoa,
Wow, even
yeah.
lower.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say 3.5, and I was like,
What'd
that's
you?
not
I thought
right.
you named it a 2. Rated a 2.
I said 3.
You said 3.
Oh, you said
I should have
3.
said 2. I'm changing it. It's a 2.
Okay.
Say
Okay.
Matt, what do you say?
I was gonna say like 2.5
2.5.
because like they had their good action.
Yeah.
But that was it.
Yeah.
But when they did
the sound.
fight, yeah, and that, well, yeah, but yeah,
That was it. Yeah. That's all I had to say, Dan.
All right, Dan.
I'm gonna say
Bring us home.
I'm gonna go 3.5 because I really did like the sound design. I'm all
Yeah.
about it.
He likes
and,
that sound.
and I like the Imperial stuff that we got to see. I mean,
Imperials.
not Bad Batch set aside, but I like the sacrifice that Tech made, being a techie.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
took one for the team, and whether or not it pays off because he's coming back anyway, which makes me happy. So he's not truly gone.
Dan's a
one's
glass
truly
half
gone.
full kind of guy.
I
Yeah.
try.
He's an
to be,
optimist, and we
because
hate
there's
it.
always something else out.
positivity
I
sucks.
Try to be a glass half full kind of guy too, typically, but tonight I
I'm
am
Switzerland.
Yeah, Dustin's
when
like-
when I'm in a room full of hundreds of people, I'm Switzerland.
not. Do
Yeah.
you have a?
He's the whole country.
I have a dark side. Just kidding. No, I mean if I could rag on anything, right?
Right.
Just like the rest of us, but
All right.
I mean, and there's plenty to rag
You
on.
just
in
try to
this.
He
see
just
pros and
tames
cons
it a
of
bit.
each.
I'm trying to
I see
find
that.
the good in this, and that's
common
why
ground.
it elevates that. There were some episodes in this season though that there was no redeeming
just
at
no.
all.
All right.
We've definitely had lower ratings.
Yeah.
I mean, it was painful, but again, it's goodbye the Bad Batch season 2, as Phil said.
It was about as
Yeah.
satisfying as season 1 was.
Yeah.
Ending like the season 1 ending was very not.
It had a big
satisfying.
shoe to fill, and it didn't fill the shoe, right, Phil?
All right.
Phil, Omega.
Oh my goodness.
What was your
You mean the fact checker?
the fact checker? Yes.
Yeah.
Or am I a
She
clone?
didn't mess up this time, Dustin.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I would say 3 because it did draw me in, but then it was also confusing.
It drawed me in and then dropped me off a
It
cliff.
drew me in and then it raced me.
And it dropped me like tech.
Ooh. Too soon?
Too soon. So what'd you rate it?
A 3.
A 3. Oh, sorry. Okay, I didn't hear that part.
In the comments,
We
we
were all talking.
got 3 out of 5, 4 out of
She
5
said
by
it before
Secret
we started
Songs. Phil, 8 out of 10. But I think he
8
fixed
out of
it. I
10.
think he fixed it.
Yeah. It was before we said.
Yep. 4s. And
See
some
some
4s, some
threes.
3s,
I
some
saw
2
two
out of
somewhere.
5 by Hannah for the finale. Again,
Yeah.
if it didn't really let them ride off into the sunset, so
No,
we didn't
no.
get any riding off into the sunset. We got like confusion.
We did not get a conclusion. We got a
But
cliffhanger.
I mean, if you liked it,
Not
I'm
a
so
good
happy
one.
for you because we also do enjoy the animated Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
When it's done well, it's the best stuff because they don't have to worry about actors and as far as like film and all this stuff. They can really do anything. That's why they can make the Inquisitors fly like helicopters when they're flying away, or
I don't know.
Right.
Right. Use
Some
that
ridiculous
example.
No,
crap like that.
like you'd never see that and you wouldn't even be an option.
Maybe in Obi-Wan. I almost
Yeah.
thought that was going to happen in
Wait,
Obi-Wan.
that
I
would've
was
been
like,
No
amazing.
joke. It was about
It
that
looked
bad
so
with the whole
goofy.
Reva scene, free running scene.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's the stylistic things that they can do. They can make heavy things, and like everybody in the Star Wars animated universe is like so thin, right?
Yeah.
They're
Right.
so thin. Their lightsabers are so thin. The blades, everything about what
Except
they
for on
do.
Pabu.
Except for
Right.
on Pabu. Oh, come on.
Oh, come on.
Poor old Fat Mace.
Fat Mace.
Mace.
Forgot he was Mace.
Let's get a Ryo show, Olivia says. Ooh, Flying Inquisitors.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Ooh, Flying
thanks you guys for your comments out there and chatting. It's been wow.
What did we hit on the subs? I want to know.
Subs.
I think we're still at 184 or 4.
184?
Why do I keep going back?
Why do you
What
keep doing
the-
that?
484 or 45.
485.
485.
So we're
Thank you, everybody out there.
Yeah, I
We're
really
getting so
appreciate
close to that 500
Nice.
mark. We can't wait to get there, and we have all of you to thank for that. So we've rated it. Everybody's rated it. We've had fun tonight.
Yeah.
We've definitely chewed into these episodes. I might have a little unjustly so, but you know what? We got to keep it real here. You know, we have fun while we do it at the same time. There's still a lot of pros here, and you guys balance us out in the comments, even when we are potentially having a bad day. It's still fun to talk with you guys and have fun
Yeah.
chatting away. So, any other final thoughts before we get on out of here?
What a night for Star Wars.
What a
Yeah.
night for Star Wars, for sure.
Season finale, that's a big deal. And so yeah.
I'll say this: any night that there's Star Wars, good or bad, it's still Star Wars. So, I mean, it's not George Lucas' Star Wars, so it's really like fan
Do you-
fiction Star Wars, but it's still Star Wars and it's still fun.
It's the highlight of the week. We
Except
look
it
forward
is.
to this
Yeah.
moment.
It definitely is.
And I don't know how many of you in the comments stayed up till 3 to watch that. You got to be tired right now, but
Yeah,
unless you slept until 1 or something. But
unless they're in a different time zone. and
that
it
could be.
came
They could stay
like
out
a
at midnight.
decent
That's
time.
not bad. Yeah,
But then it would be late probably for them right now.
it'd be early.
Early?
So maybe
Which
everybody
is
on here
it,
is from
bro?
California or like some time zone where it's maybe they're from New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Zealand.
John
Island.
Pope is not going to New Zealand. I
He
can
is
tell you
not.
that.
Hey,
Don't go there.
Don't go there. That was a good choice, probably. Unless you want to see the Hobbit Town.
That is the
I would
only
love
reason
to
I would
see
go
Hobbit
there.
Town.
That's the only Lord of the Rings, baby.
Walk to
That
Mordor.
plane
Never
ride
seen it.
though. That plane ride.
The heck, Matt?
gonna leave you on that one.
Matt, what? That is close to a perfect trilogy that will ever exist.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Lord
He
of
has
the
not
Rings.
seen
He's
it.
not seen Lord of the
Never
Rings.
seen
Well,
Lord
he
of the
was
Rings.
born-
Never seen
Oh yeah, you were born.
The
before it came
Hobbit.
out.
Never
Wow.
seen.
The Hobbit book was better than the movies, but
I'm
it
not.
was
I'm not
still
a
decent.
reader.
They just tried to jam pack too
They
much.
they
in there.
did. They tried to add stuff, and whenever you start adding stuff, you're gonna mess it up potentially.
You're gonna mess it up. You done did messed up.
Alrighty
on.
then.
This is the after show. No, I'm
This is
kidding.
the after
Let's get
show.
out of here. I'm about to fall asleep.
Yeah, we got to get the heck on out of here. It's getting late for us. So thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends. We're trying to get to 500. We're so close. We can taste it. I mean, really, we're trying to
Yeah.
get to 1,000, but 500 is the next mark, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
YouTube will send us something else for the 500 mark. Am I right, Nick?
Yeah, you might be.
It's
I mean,
all it's all Mando from here on out. There's
It
no Bad
is.
Batch. So
I'm
We're-
excited for that.
we're
Thank
so
goodness.
excited. We're gonna sink our teeth in, and maybe we can do a Mando Eve next week. We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see what happens.
I
But
think it's gonna
the
just
Mando
get
Eve has
better
been a
from here
lot of
on out.
fun.
Mando.
and,
I think now that we have a trajectory and
yeah.
a overarching theme, I think
Yeah.
we're gonna be pleasantly surprised.
Like Phil said, yeah, it's on to the next mission, and we're ready to go.
Ready to
Phil,
rock.
hope we meet again. John Pope, thanks for jumping in. He said, "See you next week." Yeah, thanks you all
Nerds.
for hanging
he
out.
calls us nerds.
yeah,
Right on, man.
Yo, we got it. We can represent.
definitely. All right. Well, we'll be back next week. We'll probably be doing a Mando Eve Tuesday, and we're doing another live. Well, that'll be live, and then we'll also doing a live show Wednesday as well. So stay tuned for that. We're probably gonna be dropping some other videos in between, so check those out. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun here, and we appreciate every single one of you. We couldn't be here without you.
Yep.
I mean, we could, but it wouldn't be as much fun. So
We have
thank
been
you.
here without.
We
them.
have been
We
here
have
without
been.
them.
So
we
we're
have been
just
here
glad-
without them. We're happy to have them here with us.
We're glad that we can have a conversation. It's fun to be together and talk
Mhm.
Star Wars.
100%.
That's what
Yeah.
it's all about. So,
Absolutely. Build a community.
build the community.
Community.
Plan 99.
That was a fail.
Somebody's dying.
We're losing
Heck.
one of us.
I'm cutting the line.
Yeah.
Yep. Got it.
He didn't
There's
even cut it. He
5
shot it.
There are 5 of us in the room. Someone
Rules.
is not making it back next week.
When have we ever followed
no.
orders? Cut off their legs. All right.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is
we'll
the
catch you
way.
guys
This is
next
The way
week.
out.
This is the way.
See ya.